Hi, my name is Simon Bailey. I'm very pleased to be speaking here today over Zoom. Brief bit about me. So, I've always stuttered since I was a child, and I sort of got through, got by with it. And I reached my early 30s, and I'd reached what I call psychological threshold of what I could take. I could take no more. Lots of things happened, young family, work stress, and I decided to do something about my speech. Attended one course in Scotland called the Andrew Bell course. I'm not going to put down any courses or treatments. That was just not right for me. And then I did a Maguire program 2 years later when I was 37 and did very well on that. It was a great course, terrific support, amazing people. I became a coach, a course instructor, a coach trainer on that program, and went around the world, went to Australia twice and really enjoyed that. And in 2014, I decided that coastal breathing wasn't for me. And I found a new form of breathing called transformational breath. So that's a registered trademark. So you can look that up on the internet. And then adopted a new form of breathing, which was very key. But I did stay on the Maguire program for a few more years and then left that program in 2018, where I started doing my own thing, so to speak. But I also trained in 2007-8 as a clinical hypnotherapist and psychotherapist. So then I realized the power of hypnotherapy because I was doing it. I was trained, I was qualified. But to begin with, I wasn't working on clients part-time with speech things going on, with stuttering. It was just general hypnotherapy, anti-smoking, anxiety. But I did notice how anxiety was behind most things. A lot of physical conditions, for example, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety was sort of feeding it. It was the base layer that was keeping it, the glue that was keeping it in place. So that was a very important part of my training and development, becoming a clinical hypnotherapist. And then I sort of merged all these things together and thought, how can we do something with them? The breath work, the hypnotherapy, and of course, the many, many years of, what should we call it, fluency shaping. But then the key thing was I stopped focusing on stuttering and stopped focusing on stammering and instead said, I don't want to do what I don't want to do. I don't want to be negative. I don't not want to stutter. What can I do positively? Which is where the expression WOMS came in, WOMS, which is working on my speech. So let's be proud to advertise I'm working on my speech. Yeah, you can use whatever tools, whatever techniques. If you want to use coastal breathing that works, use it. Use it. I moved away from it. That was my call. But actually focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want, and then having the right mindset around that, being proud, not to just work on your speech, but to advertise you're working on my speech. Now, I do believe in being purposefully disfluent sometimes, which is a way of showing to the listener, taking your time, making the listener wait respectfully, and just trying to make this thing fun and enjoyable. But you need a little bit of success. I know that. And you have to, my good friend Rama Siva says, he says, you have to change the beliefs that are holding you back. And that is important, belief systems. And most people, think about it, most people's belief systems are experiential. They're based on experience. If something happens to them, they'll start believing it. So if you can just get a few positive things going on and then allow your belief system to change, that I can do this because I just have done it, but you don't have to do it on your own. You can have support and people around you. And I've done quite a few, I've been on interviews with people, other people looking for jobs. And I've been there listening to them. And the other person doesn't hear, but I'm there in the background giving them support, silent support. And that's just giving them a bit of a leg up, a bit of a prop. And I mean, I still do it very occasionally. I mean, I still work on my speech now. There's still some situations that I find challenging. And then what I might do, for example, is I might record myself, like we're doing a record. If I want to, I could probably watch this back. But just make things easier for yourself. Just make things easier. Just enjoy what you're doing. And one of the other things I'm very, very proud of that I've done is Samaritans but it's a suicide prevention helpline in the UK, and I volunteer to help people to reduce the suicide rate in the UK. It's UK based, and I'm on the phones speaking to people, trying to help them through things. This is volunteering, by the way, and I'm very proud I can do that. And that's also great social contact, great speech opportunity, working on my speech. I don't tell people I'm doing it because you're not allowed to. You're not allowed to self-disclose. And that's actually quite a nice thing sometimes, not to tell people that you're working on your speech. I do quite a bit. Yeah, I do quite a bit. But mostly I don't now. And mostly I have to think about it less, work about it less, enjoy life more. I believe we're shaped by what we do, not what we think. You have to have the right thought, the right intention, but then take action. I don't know whether you're familiar with the phrase, it's well quoted by Francis Bacon, knowledge is power. Well, knowledge is potential power. Real power is taking knowledge and then action, repeated, consistent action. Do things to change yourself. And as Tony Robbins says, the problem with positive thinking is you have to think about it. Take action. Take action. Do stuff. Do stuff. Go out and seek opportunities to change the way you think. Because most people's belief systems are experiential. You do have to change your belief systems. But with an experiential belief system, it's shaped by experience. You have positive experience, then your mind can change. Your beliefs can change based on experience. Now, with speech, it can be quite difficult because a lot of people who stutter, sadly, have had a lot of negative experiences. So to replace those with positive experiences can be quite slow. It can take time. You might need support. You might need strategies. You might need practice. It's very important to take action, consistent, repeated action, persevere. But also, if things don't work, change them. Change them. You've got to monitor what you do. Say, what were the results? And as Michael O'Shea has taught me, you can't fail, you can only learn. And Michael O'Shea, the most knowledgeable person in the world, he's better than me. No, I don't mean that most knowledgeable person in the world about speech, about stuttering, about mental health, about experience.